Former President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was laid to rest today with full state honours in his hometown of Rameswaram. His body, draped in the Indian tricolour, was brought to the burial site in a flower-bedecked gun carriage escorted by columns of the three armed services. What proved that Kalam was India's most loved president was the number of mourners, thousands of them, who flocked to the burial ground, amongst them of course being the VVIPs like Narendra Modi ji and Rahul Gandhi, but there were thousands of others who also were there at the time attending the last rites. Now, one of the questions that I have posed, and Shrinjan Pal Singh, author and Dr. Kalam's aide, is joining me to answer that, is how would Dr. Kalam now like to be best remembered? You know, I put this on Twitter today asking people, do you want Kalam's face to be on currency notes? Do you want a memorial in Rameswaram? Do you want a school, scholarships, a National Students' Day? How do you think Shrinjan Pal Singh, Dr. Kalam would like to be remembered? Was there anything that he told you?
Well, Rajdeep, one thing I can surely tell you, Dr. Kalam would not like to be remembered as being put on a currency note. Because I clearly remember him saying one day that it's a really sad thing that the father of the nation's face is put on a currency note, and the currency note is then stashed as black money. And he told me that, you know, look at Mahatma Gandhi ji, who never owned a single penny. I mean, all his money, he had no wealth, and yet so many people are using currency notes for all kinds of black money stashing.
So currency note he would never accept. Currency note ruled out. What else?
No, I don't think. Absolutely not. I think Dr. Kalam so you have to look at it from the angle that he was a spiritualist scientist who wanted to be remembered as a teacher. And in that lens, one has to see what are the kind of things which Dr. Kalam would definitely like to be remembered for. I don't think he's a person who would strive for roads or parks or stations being named after him. He wants to live in the hearts of the people and not in symbols of
a science university.
I think one thing which Dr.
A science university,
perhaps. I remember one thing very clearly, and this is a discussion which happened about a couple of weeks before this whole unfortunate incident happened. In fact, this was a discussion which we were having for the next upcoming book of Dr. Kalam, which was scheduled a couple of months from now. He was striving a lot for creating a university which creates great teachers, and great teachers at a primary school level. Because you see, Dr. Kalam has been talking about three people who can change the youth: the mother, father, and the primary school teacher. And he was actually worried about a lot, and we went through a lot of statistics researching for the book, and he was worried about the fact that in many international indexes, the quality of students and the quality of learning imparted at primary school levels was extremely low. And one of the factors was that there needs to be much better training at the primary school level. In fact, we were discussing about creating a sort of an Indian teaching services which could take care of schools across India and
so
improve the quality, especially the government schools.
He would like a school for teachers, a school that would produce, that would yes, provide teaching to produce quality teachers. That's what Dr. Kalam would really want.
Absolutely. So that's my opinion from my assessment of my interaction with him. He's a person known as the teacher of teachers, and he loved interacting with primary school teachers and primary school children. I think his biggest thing which could be he would desire was one of this. The other was Dr. Kalam has been talking about societal transformation from a multidimensional angle. One was, of course, he talked about things like Pura, which is providing urban amenities in rural areas, providing income generation opportunities to the below poverty line population, bridging the rural-urban, the rich and poor divides, and creating equitable healthcare for everybody. That's his Vision 2020. And that is packaged into a societal transformation agenda. I think a great step forward could be towards setting up a research cum execution center, because he also believed that a lot of research does not get executed. There's a strong disconnect between industry, the people who execute, and those who research. So a three-dimensional university where the industry, the corporate sector perhaps, the government and researchers come together to create a societal center. Where,
I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. You've left two great thoughts with us. an institute for quality teachers and a multi-dimensional university. If we can create those in the name of Dr. Kalam, his close aide believes that's the best way to remember him. Forget all these memorials. We've had enough of memorials. Dr. Kalam is above all memorials. Shinjan, appreciate your joining us. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts.